Hi everyone, thanks for making the left turn for today, Saturday, April 23rd, 2016. I'm George Ferrara. Welcome back to the Jacksonville channel. Welcome back to History Jacksonville. And as part of our continuing series here on History Jacksonville, looking at Riverside Avondale, I am here today in front of the historic Willow Branch Library. And I'm also just down from Willow Branch Park, and we're going to check out the creek. Though the park is older than the library, I'd like to first talk about Jacksonville's very own Willow Branch Public Library. It's on the National Registry of Historic Places, and it was built in 1930. It was opened in November 1930, and it's at Cherry and Park Streets here in Riverside. And as a 6-year-old in 1981, I stood outside this library on a field trip. You know, field trips when you're young are pretty wild things. You know, you get on a school bus and you go across town and you're in this different neighborhood, this different place. And you get off the bus and you show up here, and you're told to stand in a line. You stand in a line, and I believe I stood somewhere right here. And what fascinated me on that day in 1981, student at Arlington Heights Elementary School, what fascinated me the most about this building, maybe it really sparked something, who knows, but what intrigued me was the design on this historic library. We were told it's an old library. Amazing time. That's what I remember the most from that field trip. I don't remember a lot. I do remember going on a tour of St. Vincent's Hospital. This library was built in the Mediterranean Revival style, and it was renovated in 1997, had refurbishments in 2004. In 2013, Mayor Alvin Brown wanted to have this library, along with others, closed. You know, a lot of people stood up about it. They went downtown. I know I went downtown to City Hall, the front of City Hall, on a hot day in the summer of 2013. And I let my voice be known, let my opinion be known. And the library's open today, and I am enjoying it today. And now we're going to enjoy the park, and you know what time it is. It's time for me to say it. Let's roll it. I'm now in Willow Branch Park. This park has even more history than the library does. It's older. It was constructed in 1916. The campaign to get the park built was led by a man named John Griffin, who was a city councilman at the time. And we have now, as a result, an amazing park. We have a playground, a softball field, and lots of room to walk, to relax. The creek, you can walk your dog. In the 1920s, there was a lot of growth in the city of Jacksonville, particularly in Riverside, Avondale, and so the park was extended south of Park Street, and I'll take you there momentarily. But first, let's check out Willow Branch Creek and more of the park. As is common in some of Jacksonville's older parks, you'll still see a sign back in the days when the city of Jacksonville really invested in beautiful parks for the city, for the people of the city. And these were grand construction type projects. Springfield comes to mind, the Confederate Park, and what's now Henry Clutho Park, which was originally called Springfield Park. You know, an earlier episode of History Jacksonville looked at it, and we see a commonality here, all the way out here in Riverside, in Willow Branch Park, as the park is very much a part of Willow Branch Creek, which extends this way. You know, a lot of people, of course, do go to Rome to see yesteryear, to see what you might call ruins. But in many ways, though this is fully functional over the creek and over holding Park Street, this bridge itself brings back thoughts you might have of a yesteryear that's long gone. But, you know, yesteryear can come into this year. It can if the people want it. We can have beautiful places to get fresh air, to chill out, to enjoy ourselves, to exercise. We can have these great spaces. Here's an example. Imagine a more ornate, more safe, pedestrian-friendly, pet-friendly even, kid-friendly crossover over the creek in this park. I would remark one more thing about the library. It's the oldest continuously running library, not counting, of course, closures for construction, renovation, refurbishment, in the city library system. So what we really are here is, you could say, the epicenter of Jacksonville history, emerging through the 20th century, and here we are, right here in 2016 in the 21st century. Can we, as a people here in Jacksonville, make this park more of a 21st century park, not a park as much of yesteryear, restoring yesteryear, of course, but providing people with, as we enjoy the trees, as we enjoy the fresh air, that we have an environment that's more inviting and essentially would represent a commitment of the people to leisure space and in an opportunity to get out and really see the neighborhood, the city in which we live and try to thrive and grow. The challenges are many in this city. The question is, does the leadership, Republican, Democrat, or what's it, have the capacity, the competence, the capability to transform our parks so that they make it through the 21st century, one day to approach the 22nd. It's time for me to stroll down Willow Branch Avenue on this April morning, and we're going to look more at the southern end of this beautiful park, and we're going to start to transition into homes of Riverside and Avondale, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. First, let's check out the neighborhood. As we go further south towards the St. Johns River, we see that the park begins to look a lot nicer. And this is the park extending back up towards Park Street. Lots of shade, lots of fresh air, and lots of sun if you want it. As the clouds drift away. Let's head on down to the river. Riverside Avenue, April 23rd, 2016. Here we see an example of the balustrades reconstructed. There's hope for our parks. The hope is in the future, but it is in the hearts of the people of our city, especially the people of Riverside, Avondale. I'm now at the southern end of Willow Branch Park as Willowbranch Creek emerges out into the St. Johns River. Let's enjoy the serenity that is Willow Branch Park on April 23rd, 2016. This is a great place to enjoy some serenity, and this morning to enjoy the great aroma of the greenery sprouting on this April morning. I want to thank you for joining me today. We've had a chance to take a look at Willow Branch Public Library, Willow Branch Park, and Willow Branch Creek. And the best is yet to come here on the Jacksonville channel. We've got coming up homes of Riverside and Avondale. I'll be talking with you about Avondale, and I'll also be looking later on next month in May at Memorial Park. And I'll be taking a trip out to Cummer Gallery, okay? So there's a lot going on here on the Jacksonville channel, a lot going on here on History of Jacksonville on this continuing series. We're also going to be looking at our corporate media. We're going to be looking at a lot of different things this summer. You know, it's almost that time, you know, it's heating up, so it's time for the city of Jacksonville to talk about the budget, to talk about how little money they have to help us out, how they don't have any money at all for anybody or anything, right? So we got a lot to talk about this summer. So the best is yet to come. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Thanks for making the left turn. And before I make my final goodbye, I do want to recognize the artist Prince, who died this week. He died at the age of 57, and his music meant a lot to me. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. See you later.